talk to us a little bit about this then. Why do you think it is so hard for people to believe that a Mormon could be a Democrat?
I grew up in a conservative household, so I made that assumption too. And I think abortion has a little bit to do with it. One thing I did in that first chapter is it's not pro-life versus pro-choice. It's pro-life versus pro-life. Because Harry Reid's pro-life. So I thought, well, okay, and that actually makes it much more interesting debate. Because now that they're both pro-life, well, now what are they going to argue about? Okay, now we can at least do something. Otherwise, it's just, it's the same old thing. It's pretty boring,
Right.
Pro-life, pro-choice, that's it.
Sure.
But the point is actually to soften up the conservatives. So it does that. In fact, I give a sympathy for pro-choice in the left-wing part. I give sympathy to that. And by the time the conservative gets to that point, he should be open to actually listening and sympathizing with the pro-choice perspective.
So with you being a conservative Republican, did you have to talk to a lot of Democrats, or did you approach this, you said it's basically nonpartisan, but being a conservative Republican, you probably do have a little bit of a bias.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did you have to have Democrat friends
Yes.
contribute to this?
Yes. The real inspiration was I served a mission in Russia, and I came back so conservative. I was gonna let the liberals know how.
Right.
Look at what communism does.
You lived a communist.
Except, wait a minute, my mission president. He's the most left-wing pinko commie Democrat who's still a member of the church that I know, and it's okay if I say pinko commie. We call each other that all. He calls me a mercenary SOB. I call him a pinko commie. So
Okay.
But a great man, and he knew more about Russian than I did. For crying out loud, he spoke dozens of languages, and at present he is the patriarch for the
Out
church.
in Russia still, or is he
No.
here in this?
Well,
You don't really know where he is?
Yeah.
That's what that sounded
I'm
like.
gonna. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna abstain from
There you
giving
go,
his
there you go.
identity
Yeah.
out. That's fine. So, what was it about then? If the inspiration for the whole thing came about from serving your mission in Russia, which is kind of an interesting inspiration, what were the experiences that you had in Russia that made you fall in love with the conservative way?
All Ezra Taft Benson's writings and Cleon Skousen and.
Be specific.
Oh.
Dive into them a little bit.
There was a wonderful story when I don't know, just the customer service there was just appalling. I mean, I was looking for some smetana, which is sour cream, and in the grocery store, and I said, I asked the woman. She was standing right there reading a paper. She worked there. Excuse me, where's the sour cream? She didn't pay attention at first. Excuse me, where's the sour cream? It's right there. She didn't even look up.
Yeah.
I can't find it. What are you, blind? It's right there. I'm like, boy, I just can't imagine that happening at a grocery store in America, So it's...
It all stemmed from bad customer service.
Oh, yeah, I guess that was... and not only that, but the roads were... when I came back here, it's amazing. There's more culture shock coming back here. The cereal aisle alone just blew me away. I can't believe we have that much cereal.
Because of all the choices.
I was like, I really was in awe. And the streets were straight and clean and paved and... Wow, it was just...
And what else about the communist culture that really turned you toward being more conservative?
I was conservative before that.
So it wasn't...
But it
Definitely.
secured you, it sounds
Oh,
like.
yeah, it did. But to be honest with myself, I had to remember that, boy, he's a liberal. Very liberal. In fact, I've talked to people who ran as Democrats here. I had gone around and talked to people here.
Here in Utah.
Yes, Utah County in particular. And these people would say... yeah, I'm a Democrat, but I'm not quite as liberal as he is. A few people I heard say that, and I'm like, oh. I got to tell you, the funniest visit I had was with a BYU professor who was quite liberal. I said, so you must like Harry Reid, and he goes, oh, Harry Reid's way too conservative for me.
Oh,
Really?
Harry Reid.
Oh yeah,
And he's a BYU professor.
yes, but by then I'm looking at this like what is the interesting story? I don't care about the politics. But I just rub my hands together and say, oh, tell me more. And he goes, oh, yeah, basically, well, he's pro-life, pro-gun, pro-death penalty. Okay. I knew about the pro-life, but, okay.
Well, coming back in the third block, we want to talk to you a little bit about the presidential race that's going on right now, not only just amongst the Republicans, but as far as who's going to be able to, you think, take on President Obama the best. We'll talk all about whether or not Mormonism impacts the race, and we'll get into that in the third block here of the Cultural Hall.
Sidewinder Media. Film and edit music or product videos and do simple ads for Facebook or websites. Email them at sidewindermedia@gmail.com or call Rusty at 801-941-5576.